Hi, Winebow team. My name is Chris Judy. I'm the Vice President of Impex Beverages. And I was asked to do a quick little video about some of the whiskeys from Japan that you guys carry. So I'm going to share my screen and take you through it. And hopefully you'll find some useful information there. So just hang tight a second. As I pull up the screen, I would like to thank you guys for participating in celebrating the portfolio that we have, which is pretty cool. It ranges from all over Japan, the South and the North, from everywhere. So hopefully you can see my screen now. At least I hope you can. I hope it's recording this way. The first whiskey we'll talk about is the Fukano Tenryu. This is a distillery that was founded in 1823. They're on their 7th generation of ownership. They're located in the south of Japan. Latitudinally speaking, it's the equivalent of about North Georgia, Tennessee. So very hot and humid winters and very cold and dry. Very hot and humid summers and very cold and dry winters. So a lot of cask expansion and contraction to pull the whiskey in and out of the staves of the barrel. This is a combination of new and used oak of whiskeys anywhere from 10 to 12 years old, and it's just simply delightful. It is it got 96 points in the ultimate beverage competition, or ultimate spirits competition. 96 points, written about in Forbes magazine, in Punch magazine. It's kind of been all over the place, but you guys should have no problem selling this. Like, if you get a chance to try it, it's going to remind you of bourbon from like the 1970s. It's really kind of a unique beast within itself, but we have great success with this one. Next, we'll go to the Oishi Distillery. This is also made from rice. The distillery was founded in 1872. It's located about 25 miles away from the Fukano Distillery. To give you an idea of what the landscape is like in this region, the Fukano Distillery is in a village of about 30,000 people. The Oishi Distillery is in a village of 2,500 people. Both distilleries only operate 8 months out of the year. The 4 months in the summertime, they actually close down operations because it gets too hot for their fermentation to really tick the way that they want. So they decide, instead of compromising the integrity of the distillate, they'll just shut it down. But you guys have 3 expressions from Oishi: the Oishi Sherry 8-year, which will be a fully matured in sherry cask, combination of anywhere from 8 to 10 years old, and then the Oishi Brandy cask, which these are actually matured in ex-cognac casks from 10 to 13 years would be in those variants. The 10-year just won a double gold medal in the 2020 San Francisco Spirits competition, and I think it was the highest ranked whiskey from Japan in the competition. Next, we have the Oishi Tokubetsu Reserve. You can see the awards on the screen, hopefully 93, 92, 90 points. It's all over the map. It's done really well as far as competitions go. This is unique in that it's very expensive. So, and there's a reason for that, and I'll take you through it. It's because it's a combination of equal parts 7-year-old, 10-year-old, and then 27-year-old from 1974. So the distillate, a chunk of this, a third of this, was actually distilled back in 1974. And then when it turned 27 years old, it was put into stainless steel tanks to stop the development of the whiskey. And then we add some 7 and 10-year-old to make it a complete palate experience. The 7 should be the tip of the tongue. The 10 is the mid palate and the fruit. And the 27-year is all the umami and the weight on the back and the sides of the palate. It really is its own special experience if you get a chance to have this as well. It is limited, it is finite. While we have pretty good stock, when it goes, it will be gone. That's just going to be that. It'll be a piece of history. Next, we'll go to the Matsui Whiskey Company. They're located on Honshu, which is a different island. So Kyushu is located down in the south. It's its own island where the previous 2 distilleries are. Honshu is the mainland where you have like Kyoto, Tokyo, Osaka. And off on the west side, there's this place called Tottori Prefecture. And the city that this company is located is called Kuriyoshi. And the name of the company is the Matsui Whiskey Company, and their distilleries in Kuriyoshi. And we start with their Signing blended Japanese whiskeys, which were just launched this year in the United States. And they're already getting great accolades. You've got the bourbon barrel, which is basically a bourbon mash. Dominant ingredient would be corn. And then you've got the Signing blended whiskey, which is great for cocktailing. It's going to be malted barley based, and they've got International Spirits Challenge 2020 gold and San Francisco World Spirits Competition gold in 2020 as well. The Signing blended Japanese whiskey, this is where you're going to win your cocktail placements. People who are tired of buying from larger companies, they are looking for something to be able to sub in. This at its cost per ounce, you guys can look in your price sheets and see what deals you have going on, but its cost per ounce is very, very competitive. Next, we have the Toltoni blended whiskeys, which were kind of the precursor to the signing. The Toltoni blended Japanese whiskey's got a higher percentage of malt in it. It's 50% malt to grain. And it's just a little bit more pricey, but it also blends really well. This is the one that I use in the Pepsi challenge. If I go into a place and they're serving a highball, I ask them to make a highball with this. And typically I usually walk out with the placement depending on if there's no other deals that I kind of don't know about that's happening. Now we get into the kuriyoshi pure malts, named after the city where the distillery is located. Now, pure malts will be a combination of distillate that is made in Japan and distillate that is made outside of Japan, but it is all 100% malted barley, yeast, and water. So think like a blended malt whiskey out of Scotland, except for that would all have been made in Scotland. But this will be a combination of juice that's made in distilleries throughout the world, but blended in Japan and water added to it in Japan, and that's the essence of it, but 100% malted barley, yeast, and water. The sherry cask is 3 years old. It was a gold medal in the International Spirits Competition as well, and it has that nice raisin toffee note to it. The Kuriyoshi 12-year is by far and away one of our best sellers. This is, again, a pure malt from Kuriyoshi. You can see the awards here. I actually haven't updated it for the 2020s and the 2021 awards, but again, it's just more gold medals. This is the one that we sell it anywhere when someone's looking for a gift. So you have the signing for your stores that are looking for lower priced items. You have your Oishis and your Fukanos for mid-tier. And then this is if someone wants a $100 or $110 gift, like people come in looking for that price point, this is the one that we hand to them because everyone that tries it loves it. And beyond that, it just hits that right price point and all the awards and everything. It works out perfect. Next, we go to the single malts. Now here, I will go ahead and apologize to you because stock of these come and go, but that's the nature of single malts in Japan. The peated is is made with peated barley and unpeated barley and matured in ex-bourbon barrels. The Sakura cask in the middle here, this would be unpeated barley, but matured in Sakura cask or matured in bourbon barrels. And then what they do is they take the heads and the bottoms, the tops and bottoms off of the casks, and they put on Sakura oak tops and bottoms, and they let that sit for an additional few months to get the essence of the Sakura cask. To give you guys an idea of what Sakura cask means, when you translate it to English, it's cherry blossom tree. So that's what the casks are made from. And then finally, the Mizunara cask. Again, same thing, matured in bourbon barrels, and then the heads and tops and bottoms are taken off, and Mizunara oak is put there in its place to give it that little bit of sandalwood finish. Again, single malts from the Kuriyoshi Distillery by Matsui company, and they're super great. Next, we get to the gins. So here again is where you're going to find yourself having some real success in on-premise and off-premise with just a simple, easy price point gins. The Hakuto is a combination of 9 different botanicals that include cherry blossom, nashi pear, yuzu, citrus, gyokuro, which is like a green tea, sansho pepper, coriander seed, orange peel, black pepper, and juniper berry. Again, it retails the same price as the signing, so incredibly affordable, and the cost per ounce is really, really competitive. So if someone wants to have a Japanese gin cocktail going as you guys are getting your wine placements on the menu, this is a great sub-in. We also have the Hakuto Premium, which has an extra 5 botanicals over the Hakuto Regular. And both of these come in gift boxes, so they look great on the shelf as well. The Umay Shoes. So our last item of today in this little blitz meeting is the Umay Shoes. And we have an Umay Shoe made from Japanese brandy and an Umay Shoe made from Japanese whiskey. And what an Umay Shoe is basically you take the distillate, the base distillate, the brandy or the whiskey, and you add in ume, which is a plum, and then you add in a lot of sugar. And really where we're finding success here is you take it and you just sip it as an after dinner drink. So if you are trying to capture your wine list again, and you are getting a few cocktails, this is something because of the price point. Again, price the same as a signing. Restaurants can almost just give it away as like a 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce pour for the customer to really enjoy their experience at the restaurant. And at the same time, it helps the server really get their tips higher. So it's a great sell in that way. It also works great as a modifier for cocktails to really add a Japanese essence to the cocktail, because umeshu is a very Japanese thing. In Japan, they'll drink that in soda water and call it a day and be done with it. But again, award-winning, 95 points, Ultimate Spirits Challenge, and gold medal San Francisco Spirits Competition. All right, guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and happy sales, and awesome. Cheers.